Hi guys, Grad here. In this video I'm going to talk to you about the Osprey Quantum backpack. Some of its features and some of the changes that I made to my pack to make it more suitable for my own purposes. So the Quantum is the largest backpack offered in Osprey's 24/7 line of packs, which is a series of backpacks they make that are more geared towards everyday carry use as opposed to more hiking or biking sort of applications. I think this would still be a good pack to wear while hiking, but it definitely has certain features that make it more geared towards everyday carry use. So this backpack is 2,075 cubic inches of capacity, which is the equivalent to 34 liters. It's about 20 inches high, 12 inches in depth, and 12 inches in width. The pack itself weighs in at 1 pound and 14 ounces. So some of the immediately obvious things that I did here, I added some grim locks. I covered up the Osprey logo with some black mil-spec Velcro to give me a patch field here, and I covered up a lot of the brand markings that were made out of a sort of silver reflective material, or printed on in a silver reflective material anyway. So I just sort of blacked those out with a Sharpie, and there are sort of little aesthetic lines here in the silver material. It says Quantum along the bottom. I didn't do it to the back of the pack just because when I'm wearing it you won't see that anyway. While it was partly to get rid of any brand markings and make the pack closer to meeting the all black requirement that I have for work, this loop field here is also so that when I'm not at work I can take advantage of the many different patches that I own. And while it's not conventionally shaped, because I did have to round it off after I sewed it on here to make it match the contour of the pack, and I couldn't really make it too tall either because this sewn in latch attachment point right here gets in the way of that. It does still fit a pretty wide variety of patches, so make it easier here. Fits this ISIS patch pretty easily. It's not going to work for everything though. It more or less fits, but it will cover it up with the top of this flap here. So let's go over some of the features now that the pack includes. So on the front here it has a mesh pocket. I've just sort of filled out this pack with some of my normal everyday carry items to sort of give an idea of size of different pockets and such. So on the front here you have this mesh pocket. It kind of functions like the stick-it pocket on a Mystery Ranch pack or the beaver tail on a triple out design pack. It's just sort of an external pocket where you can quickly stash something while you're on the go. Above that you have an admin pocket. It has two large mesh areas. The whole top is done in elastic here to sort of help hold things in place. You have two smaller pockets that'd be great for carrying a pin, and you have a loop here that you could attach a keychain to, or something that you want a dummy cord right there. And it's covered by a flap of material which would help keep water from getting in if it was raining. Open up the main zipper here. You have a pretty spacious compartment. You can see here that you have different straps that sort of help restrict the pack when it's not fully loaded, and I didn't even bother to let those straps out, so you could probably get a little bit more capacity out of this than what I'm currently showing. So here you have a very large hard shell. And you also have a fleece jacket. So you have a very spacious main compartment here that has several different divided pockets. This one here is for documents. Here's a pretty standard size folder. You can easily fit that in the document pocket here. This is held in with sort of elastic mesh on the sides. And then this compartment here is a little bit padded. It has a little bit of padding rather, and it's meant for a laptop. So here is a Case Logic case. It's a padded laptop case for a 13-inch MacBook. So that fits in there pretty nicely. I wouldn't rely on the padding that the pack provides personally by itself. I would go ahead and use a padded hard case like this one. Behind that is another small pocket. I think it's meant for a small device like a phone or an iPod. Something like that. You'd put it in this elastic mesh pocket, and then you can run the headphones out right here on either side and listen to earbuds that way, listen to your audio device. So this is the pack rain cover that I have stashed in here. This is an extra small, and it fits perfectly over the pack. I showed this in the Mystery Ranch ASAP backpack review as well. And it just unfolds. It's made of the same sort of material. I'm sure it has a DWR coating, something along those lines to help with water repellency. And it's a very lightweight way to keep the contents of your backpack dry if you can't get out of the rain. On the inside you have another large mesh pocket. Try to show that there. So you could use this for whatever you wanted to. Just something that you want to keep off the bottom of the pack, separate from the main compartment. Small items or whatever. Got it all the way open with the top folded down to give you a better idea of the capacity of this inside mesh pocket. So here's a Nexus 7, which is a 7-inch tablet inside of a protective case. So not quite big enough to fit that. Oh wait, never mind. You can fit that sideways. And you can zip it right up. So that's a pretty good capacity there on that pocket. You have these different loops here. I guess you could dummy cord something to them. They're probably meant for attaching some sort of gear that's not in use, like climbing gear. On the front here, just below the mesh pocket, you have a small reinforced piece of material that you could route something through or hook something to. And this loop here is an ice tool attachment loop. I just sort of keep it out of the way because it's not something that I've personally found a use for yet. And it might be something I actually cut off just to keep it more permanently out of the way. On the sides you have two large mesh pockets that are meant for carrying water bottles. So what I actually do is, rather than using those, I use these two large zipper pockets on the side. and they're definitely large enough to hold 20-ounce insulated clean canteen or a large Nalgene bottle. And to me, that's just a more secure and out-of-the-way place to keep something like that. I could see the mesh pockets, all three of the large elastic mesh pockets here. I could see them as being the weak points to the pack, so if anything's going to give out, I would say those would be the first things to go. Maybe the pack isn't fully packed out or something. Having a bottle here probably wouldn't be the most secure place for it. Seems like it'd be a little bit more likely to fall out without you noticing it. That being said, it is a pretty deep pocket, and the nylon strap along the side here does a pretty good job of helping to keep whatever you put in there secure. And then if you went ahead and fastened this strap here as well, it also probably go a long ways towards keeping a bottle in there. So you might have noticed all my straps, I don't have any straps that are dangling off the pack or anything. I use what's called one wrap. It's made by Velcro. You can get it at Lowe's or Home Depot or wherever. And I just sort of cut that down to size and roll up the excess webbing. It keeps it out of the way, and it's a very lightweight option compared to something like an ITW Nexus Web Dominator, which is great in its own right, but you throw a bunch of those on a pack and it's going to add a little bit of unnecessary weight. And when you're talking about a pack that's made specifically to be ultralight like the Osprey packs, that seems counterproductive. Even all of the hardware is ultralight. It's very thin and not robust in comparison to the kind of ITW Nexus hardware that you find on most heavy-duty backpacks. So the grab handle on this is padded foam. It's got mesh on the bottom. It's a very comfortable grab handle to use. Makes getting a hold of the pack very easy. It has load lifter straps on the shoulder straps here. It has two elastic loops on the right side, which should be good for routing something through. It's not really a pack that's made for a bladder. You don't have any sort of hook or anything on the top here to hang a bladder from, so I wouldn't really recommend that. But I suppose these straps would probably do a decent job of managing a hose from one of those kind of water bladders. On the other side you have two reflective straps. These aren't made of elastic material. I used one of them for the triple out design BC4 on. This is where I keep my Bluetooth device for easy access. You have a sliding sternum strap here. It's kind of a neat design. You just have this sort of tube-shaped material here. It's just part of the strap itself. And the way that the plastic that holds the sternum strap on is shaped just sort of glides along that. So you can adjust it up or down. It does take a good bit of force to adjust it, so it's not something that's going to move just from wearing the pack. You're not going to need to be constantly adjusting it to get it to where you want. And you do have a built-in whistle in the sternum strap itself. Sort of a neat addition there. So Osprey has really two different notable suspension systems on their pack. This one is what's called the Airscape, and really it just sort of allows for airflow in this area here by keeping the pack off of your back, and then you have ridged foam underneath, and that's covered in sort of a nylon mesh material. And the ridges would allow sort of little pockets of air here, so you have even less of the pack making contact with your back. And then the nylon mesh would be to help it glide on and off of your back more easily. It's not going to catch and bunch up and pull your shirt the way that it would if it's just the foam. probably also goes a long way towards helping to protect the foam itself. You'll see the back of the straps here, also made of foam material, covered in a nylon mesh. All of the zipper pulls have these loops here. It makes it easy to get a quick handle on them. You have connectors here for a very thin and light belt. It's not going to be a load-bearing belt, and I took it off because the belts on backpacks aren't really something that I use unless I'm going to be wearing it for a very extended period of time, and it happens to be a load-bearing belt. But this would help keep the pack pulled closer to your body. If you were biking or something like that, it might be useful. The material that it's made out of is just the same sort of nylon that they use in other areas of the pack, nylon webbing. So at 1 pound and 14 ounces with a 2,075 cubic inch capacity, this is an incredibly light pack. It's made out of a diamond weave material. It's called 210 denier nylon double ripstop. So it's a very durable material for its weight. Bottom of the pack, you know, a high wear area, is made out of 420 denier nylon pack cloth. So it's going to be a little bit harder wearing, extend the longevity of the pack, and certain stress points, like along the side here, where you're gonna have stress created by sort of these securing straps here. Those are also made out of the 420 denier pack cloth. So the reason I started looking at ultralight packs in the first place, and of which Osprey is the company that sort of leads the way in those type of packs, figured that the more weight I could keep off of it, the better. So as a comparison, the Triple Design Fast Pack EDC, which is their 1800 cubic inch pack, that's a 4.5 pound backpack, and that's empty. Their light speed is only 1 pound less, so 1300 cubic inches, that's 3.5 pounds. And the Mystery Ranch 3-day assault pack, which is 75 cubic inches less than this one, 2000 cubic inches even, that is a 5.1 pound backpack. So when the pack itself weighs that much, you're carrying a lot of unnecessary weight. As you can see from this pack has more features and small pockets and stuff like that than any of those other packs do. And it provides areas where you can easily stow a bottle without having to use some sort of external Molly Powell's attachment and add even more weight to the backpack. This pack itself, I think that the way that it has these straps here to manage its capacity, it makes it compactable down to a very manageable size, no matter how small of a load you're carrying, or you can expand it out and carry a much larger load. It's a very good design, and one that I highly recommend to anyone who might be interested in an ultra lightweight, everyday carry style backpack. Thanks for watching.